call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mount Sharax. Today I am here with Devanoni, if you would like to give yourself a bit of an introduction there.
Hi, I'm Devanoni. I make raids. Well, welcome to Mount Sharax.
A perfect introduction. Okay, so we're going to be having a look through this this new 20-man raid coming out, I believe it's this Wednesday, so, well, Wednesday for US and Thursday for EU, so...
Actually, we set it up so that we are going to launch at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. So we'll have an even chance at world firsts.
That isn't even better. That's what every EU progression raider wants to hear.
That's right. Now, this time around, it's been very competitive, and we want to make sure that everyone gets a fair shot at it, so...
Exactly. A lot of competition on the Ren of Fate 10, man. I've certainly been seeing the forum wars rage on and on as per usual at the start of an expansion.
Right here, we're up at the first encounter, which is Bolf. Now, you may know Bolf from the story quests, and obviously the story quest, he died. So, you're probably wondering what Bolf is doing here. Well, it turns out when Bolf died, he got inherited by Martyrdom, and now he can't die. He just keeps coming back.
Oh, damn, that sounds pretty tough to kill, you know, something that just keeps on coming back.
How do you kill something that can't die?
I do not know. I'm sure we're going to find out, though. Oh, bad AoE, bad AoE. I've already learned some of the mechanics here.
Oh.
I've already been frozen. Oh, mistakes have already been made.
So the earlier phases of the Bolf fight are more about reintroducing Bolf as kind of like, you know, you wouldn't think he's a 20-man raid threat at first, right? The full power of Martyrdom isn't here yet. So the early mechanics of this fight are fairly forgiving, but then it starts to ramp up.
Okay, so how many sort of phases are there in this encounter then? So
This encounter has four proper phases.
Four proper phases.
Yes. The interesting thing about Bolf is that it's intended that it's easy, so people can actually get in here and get a chance to test out their 20-man configurations. But by the time you kill Bolf, it's not so easy anymore. So let's go through the first phase here.
Looks like I've been mind controlled there.
Ah, yes. That is one of the things that Bolf starts to do.
We certainly haven't seen a mind control mechanic in quite a while. That should be very interesting.
So the mechanics that Bolf puts on the ground are actually interacting with the other mechanics. As before, I don't want to try and give away too many of the tips for beating this, so I'm going to be kind of vague.
That's fine. We'll just go with the standard tactic. The ground AoE is bad and should be avoided. And something about mind control. And dispels. Lots of dispels by the look of it. Okay, so this is the second phase of Bolf. I see things kind of starting to ramp up a bit now. What are the giants kind of on the ledge for? What do they do?
So in the second phase of the fight, the giants show up and they start hurling down these ice spears, and they are very effective ground target AoEs. You just have to move out of them, which is relatively easy to do at first. But as I said, this fight gets more and more chaotic as we go.
I see. So do more giants spawn then to make it chaotic, or do they just kind of hold the boulders faster?
So we've got more ground AoEs on the ground. They're wandering around. We've got the third Bolf up now. Now we've got more giants spawning in. And things are starting to get a little bit hectic.
Oh, damn, I see. So they actually come down and start beating people up in this phase.
Mm-hmm.
They do have an awfully lot of health. This is going to be quite overwhelming for most raids to deal with.
Alright, we're going to go into the fourth phase now.
Okay, let's go for that then.
Now things are about to get really chaotic.
Oh damn, I died. The power of the giant smash was too damn OP.
Alright, let me resurrect you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have pin health?
I believe I do, yes, at 10,000.
Huh.
It's just
I killed you.
Somehow they managed to burn through it. I don't know, I think they need a big fat nerf there.
Alright, so as we get into phase 4, the ads become a serious problem. And you'll notice that there's this giant field right here. And this will actually start taking away a percentage of your maximum health every time you get into it. So things get really, really tense around here, and you have to deal with killing both and the ads at the same time, and it's sort of a race, because the ads aren't going to stop coming.
Damn.
Additionally, both start spawning smaller ground target AoEs that wander around and on top of the other ones that are already here.
So everything really, really starts to heat up in this phase. My god. This is nowhere near the walk in the park that the first phase appeared to be.
Well, as I said, we set up both intentionally so that people get their raid configurations right, and then we give them the challenge. It's the first raid in the 20-man instance, so people should have something to kind of gauge themselves on.
No, I think it's very cool. It allows for a steady sort of pace of progression throughout the increasing difficulty stages. I'm liking it so far. Seems like the perfect entry-level fight.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and kill both.
Okay, that's cool, that's cool.
And now Bolf is finally at rest. Or at least the portal's closed, so he can't keep coming back.
R.I.P. Bolf.
This is Janoskoth, the second boss. He's the gatekeeper for ascending to the top of Mount Sharax. Let me go ahead and set myself up with the proper dev hacks, as Janoskoth likes to troll me.
Indeed he does, indeed he does.
Janoskoth summons the power of the mountain to defeat you. He summons a massive storm that damages anyone who's not standing directly in front of him. On top of that, he's got some nasty interrupt mechanics, and he has a raid coordination check, which is basically the entire raid has to move together in order to turn him. And this will lead you to safe spots and intercepting crystals. You'll notice crystals will spawn during this fight that must be intercepted by players. So this is more of an execution challenge than anything else. The fight is all about getting your entire raid to move together fluidly, so that you can actually intercept these crystals. If you fail to do so, then Janoskoth gets a huge buff, and you will have no way to cleanse your stacks. As you'll notice on your character, you're currently accumulating stacks of, I believe it's called Iced?
It's called Bone Chill, and I'm
Chill.
taking some very, very heavy damage at the moment.
So you accumulate 10 stacks of that, and then it starts to completely destroy you. The only way to purge those stacks is to successfully get to the safe zones or intercept and meet DPS checks.
My god, this really does seem like it's going to be quite the test for sort of newly established guilds in Rift 3.0. It's really going to put their coordination to the absolute brink.
It trains you for later fights.
Don't even want to know what the later fights are going to be like if this is only the second encounter.
This is the third boss, the Iskin Ra fight. You'll notice that neither of these mobs are actually called Iskin Ra, and that's because this fight doesn't begin with Iskin Ra. These two giants who are remaining, the War Masters who commanded these siege turrets, are now trying to summon Iskin Ra to stop you at all costs. So when we engage this fight, you'll have to deal with something that's kind of similar to twins, but I won't get too specific on it.
Fair enough, it sounds pretty exciting. I know literally so many people did love the coordination that the twins fight really brought to Storm Legion raiding. Especially, you know, sort of when it eventually became that pugs were entering that dungeon. I think with the second boss, though, we're probably quite a long way off being able to reach this point in 3.0 at the moment. Getting that kind of coordination to down Janoskoth is going to be very, very difficult for pickup groups.
So you'll notice these bosses have a lot of AoEs. They're actually directly related to each other. The mechanics intertwine. I won't get too specifics on how they work, but you will have to figure that out in order to actually kill both bosses. And as this fight progresses, you'll notice that Iskin Ra is flying around up in the sky, and he's going to start to show up pretty soon and make things especially dangerous for us.
Oh, we do love that danger.
I believe he should be showing up right about now.
Okay, I'll certainly keep my eye on the sky then.
Where is he? There he is.
Ah, wow! He looks absolutely beastie.
So when the Iskin Ra shows up, an avalanche is triggered. And at this point, the storm of Iskin Ra is also going on. players will actually have to find a way to take shelter from the storm, or they will be basically destroyed.
I take it these large friendly boulders probably do have something to do with taking shelter.
You would guess correctly, yes. Alright, let's go ahead and push these giants down. The kill order does matter to some extent, as does killing them at the same time, but I won't reveal exactly what that is.
No, that's fine. You want to keep the secret strats secret to make it more fun for the progression raiders. Totally understand.
Mm-hmm. Alright, at this phase we actually have to start using these storms as protection and use these ballista bolts in order to bring the Iskenra down. Unfortunately, there's only 2 of us here, so I don't know if we can form the chain necessary to actually do it. But if you want to get in the turret slot, I will pass you bolts.
Okay, that's fine. I'll quickly run into the turret slot then. So usually in a 20-man environment, that's going to require like everybody to line up in a big line so that you can pass the bolts down to the person manning the turrets.
That's right.
Or the shooting Iskenra down. It's pretty damn cool. Yet again, another coordination check, which I really, really like.
This just requires you to be able to get your entire guild to coordinate together, somewhat like a military troop. If you can do that, you can win.
I see I've also got another ability called Take Cover while I'm in this turret. So drop the cover and dramatically take reduced damage.
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to be bombarding with the raid with anything during this phase?
I believe that Iskenra does not appreciate being attacked by the ballista, and will start to respond very, very aggressively.
I don't think anybody would appreciate being attacked by a ballista.
Alright, before we keep you up here for too long, though, I'm actually going to bring the Iskenra down. I'm going to push it. So it's currently based on health check. So once you do enough damage to it, it will fly down.
Okay. So I will dismount the ballista then, and you can push it down for the final phase.
Alright, it's on its way.
So the final phase is kind of a like original Rift Malforge-esque fight by the look of it. Sort of he's dangling off the cliff.
Well, Iskenra has been forced to land at this point. So he's clinging onto the spire and he's fighting you from here. At this point, you're going to be facing a lot of mechanics that involve moving different groups of people around at different times, because the more people that are in certain positions, the different things he will do. So it's a lot of change based on range, I would say.
No, it seems very, very cool. I love the dragon on the edge of the cliff. It just looks and feels absolutely amazing.
I really like the way it came out, yeah. Very happy with this. So here we are at the fourth boss. This is the Urwalok fight. And I don't really want to explain what the Urwalok is. It's better just to show you.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. Sorry, go on.
So in order to begin this fight, you actually have to take the Ogvari curators who are guarding it and, well, kill them. Relatively straightforward. And then something familiar happens.
Damn. I've seen this model before, but every time I see it, it's just so damn impressive. The way it just rips out of the sky.
If you'll notice its face, it's actually the creature that spawns in when a water rift opens.
A very, very cool but minor detail there. Do love it.
Well, people have always been asking us, they want to fight the creature that's in the water rift. They want to see what Cthulhu looks like. Well, this is what Cthulhu looks like.
Well, I'm certainly sure those people will not be disappointed with kind of the scale of this beast.
At the start of this fight, you're going to notice that you're going to start gaining stacks, and this is a result of looking at madness itself. If you stare at the Urwalok for too long, you will go insane, as we recently discovered.
Many a time, yes.
This fight is primarily about raid positioning. He has giant smashes that he will use, and you are going to have to adjust the raid position accordingly. In addition to that, he will also place a ground target effect that will be dropped and black out a huge area of the fight, which you're going to see right now. And you're going to have to account for that when you're positioning your raid. Stand in the wrong spot, you will get smashed.
Well, I see I've got a very nasty debuff here. That casting any beneficial abilities causes damage. And this effect spreads to any player that casts a beneficial ability on you. My, this is going to be fun for healers as well.
There are also other effects that are going on right now that are not happening to me because I made myself invulnerable, so he can't charm me anymore. There are also certain things that I don't want to reveal that are happening in the background right now, but you will have to have somebody paying very close attention for a certain presence to appear.
Ooh, sounds pretty damn exciting, but again, we don't want to give away too many of those secret strats. Want to keep them, oh, I see the Maw has now become vulnerable. Let's speed that up a bit. So what does just directly attacking the Maw do? And what?
Oh, I pushed him down. So directly attacking the Maw is necessary to stop Rippling Infinity. If you don't stop it in time, you're all dead.
Oh my, that certainly sounds like a fun DPS check. And yet again, I submitted to the will of the Yarwalak. I know I'm probably never going to surpass this boss when it comes to the 20-man raid.
Alright, well in that case I'm going to defeat the Yarwalak and see if we can recover you.
No, that's fine, that's fine. If you could break me from his will, I would be greatly appreciated.
Of course, you can never truly kill the Yarwalak. He will always come back. We are here at Mount Sharax, the 5th boss. This is Threngar, the last boss of Mount Sharax, and the culmination of everything you have learned up to this point from all the other raid encounters. Notice the platform assembles itself from a bunch of different chunks, and that is because the platform is destructible and will be destroyed throughout the fight.
That is pretty damn badass. So this fight is basically everything we've learned so far put together with a whole lot more on top of it. So
that's right.
I imagine everybody's in for a big treat here then. So if we want to engage then and see what this fight's all about.
Alright, let me pull him. So the first thing you're going to notice about this fight is that there are 3 auras on the ground. These 3 totems are not just decoration. These are the 3 totems that represent the different planes from which Threngar is using power to free Martyrdom from his prison. This fight has a lot of AoE going on, and there are a lot of things that have to be effectively managed by individual players with certain skill sets. If you don't have the right skills and configuration, you will die. Every time, I guarantee it.
I really like that tank mechanic that he's doing, where he just throws you up in the air, and you have to interrupt it in order to get the tank down. So what happens if you don't interrupt that? Does he just...
Oh, the tank takes 1 million damage a tick.
1 million damage a tick? Wow, you got to be pretty damn fast at interrupting that then.
Yes, it is absolutely fatal unless you interrupt it in time.
I see he also puts up a shield that makes him immune to the interrupts.
That's correct. You can purge it off if you want to.
Oh, you can purge it. The mechanics have already been learned.
Alright, so you'll notice that some of the mechanics that happen in this fight actually affect the NPCs, not just the players from the auras. All of the mechanics in this fight interact with each other. So it's important to actually pay attention to what's going on, read tooltips, and come up with practical strategies based on those effects. You have to really pay attention to this fight, and it's going to be an interesting strategy challenge for a lot of people, I think, because I've noticed a lot of people don't read my tooltips.
Well, it's time to get out the reading glasses for those people. Then they will read and they will learn, or they won't get the loot.
That's right. So this fight has many different phases. I'm only going to show you some of the earlier phases because I don't want to reveal it all. I think that this is one of the ones we want to save for a little bit later on. But I will show you that as we progress forward, things start to change.
Oh, I can see we're getting whipped to various circles now. I'm dropping an AoE as well by the look of it.
That's right. And this, we actually can't show off what's happening here in full without the entire 20-man raid, because it takes 20 people to get all the different effects, which means that you will have to understand what effect you have and what effect that has on the raid and what your role is. If you don't effectively manage that, then you will wipe the raid guaranteed.
Oh my, individual accountability on every player. It's Warden Franks all over again, but 10 times worse. People are, this is going to be an absolutely brilliant fight to progress on. Good times will be had, satisfaction will be achieved when this is defeated, but progression, whew, that is going to be fun.
Alright, before we go into the next phase, I think we're going to keep that a secret from now on from what happens here. But I will say that Martyrdom does appear during the fight.
No, that is very, very cool. You know, we don't want to give too many secret strats away to those raiders who might be watching. You know, want to keep that world first very, very competitive. So, I believe that is it for our Mount Sharax tour. The very epic raid coming Thursday. So I certainly can't wait forward to. Well, can't wait to tackle it with my guild. I'm just getting my words completely fumbled today. Thank you for joining me, Devononi. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out to quickly show me through the raid.
Anytime, anytime.
Okay, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, and have an absolutely great day.